What's going on? This is Chris back at you on the Patriot RC channel. Had a rough night last night. Sorry for not seeing the best of moods, but we got shit to do, so let's get busy here. So we've got a bottle of rust, a bottle of fingernail polish, an fcx24, and we have rust. This side turned out really good. I like that. Let's see if we can get that to focus in a little better. It's on the back cabs. Let's flip her over again. And down the snorkel. The back. Got a patch on the roof. I was going to do a little more right here on this, on the hood right here. On the vented side, like I did over here. So what we do, I'm gonna lay that down right there. So I've got a few brushes I've got going on here in rotation. And so we're gonna go with this finer tipped brush. Sorry, I got you on the tripod here, so it's hard to aim. I might have you zoomed in too much. There we go. So anyway, so we take this brush and we absolutely coat it in the fingernail, the clear gloss or the clear enamel sealer, and I just come along and just gob it all the way down the side. I'm gonna go all the way back to this line here. I'm gonna go ahead and bring this back out of range there, so it's easier for me. So do one pass on it, and then I come back with even wetter brush to the point you know it's going to start running. And that's okay. What I'll do on a thick end is I'll come in and kind of direct where that run's going to go, and it just kind of follows your paintbrush. I'm going to do one more because it's a longer area. I'm going to tie it into that one. So a little bit up here. Set the brush down. So I got a bottle of rust. If you go back into my playlist, you'll see how I made this. And I just scoop out a decent amount. And then bring the truck over this way. And just dump it on top of what you just painted on there. Let it sit for not even a minute. Just sit for a little bit. And then what I do, let me get the camera turned this way a little bit. And then so once it's on there, you can see everything's pretty much covered liberally. Let's get that last little spot there. What I want to do is just tie this in here and here, and what I already had it in the front. So anyway, this is probably about as long as you need to really let it sit. It's not going to run anymore. The rust is soaking up everything, so it's not going to go anywhere. And what I do is I just take the end of my brush, and see how it's peeling back. You can see where I didn't get the polish yet. And then I'll turn it sideways. I'm tapping it over a piece of paper, so that catches it and I can just kind of recycle the rest. And that's what we ended up with. So all I really got enough polish on was that area. We're going to hit that again probably later on, but I want to let this dry so I don't go contaminating all my brushes with all that. So we will do one more spot. I was thinking about doing some coming off the back windows here, just two little strips coming down. I got some on the roof, and this is just blue paint, like it's wearing off and aging. So it's an old beat ass Power Wagon, so it's supposed to have some shit on it, right? So we'll sit that back down. Put my rust brush up. Get my small brush back. And this time we're not going to gob as much on, but we are going to come down the side of the window casing here. I think we're going to go all the way across the bottom. Tell you what, we will get this bigger brush out for that. So we're going to come all the way down here all the way down the bottom. I'm going to go about halfway up here. And that was a pretty decent run on that one. I know you guys can't see it. So I'm going to put a big glob right there. Put the big brush back in. I'm going to come in through here and just trail this downwards. And a little right there. And again, I don't know if you guys can see that or anything, if it's even translating on video, but set that back down. Put the lid back on this before I spill it. Bust out the rest. Scoop a big clump of it out. And again, we're just going to sprinkle it over the back where we know we've got the fingernail polish at. And that's what we got. So I'm going to put a little more, put a little more right here where it didn't take. And you got to do it before it dries. Nail polish smells like acetone because it's got acetone in it. That's what they use as a thinner. So there's that. Got that reapplied, put the drop back in. Let's see what happened there. I didn't wait before I started tapping. I'm sure you guys noticed that. If you did notice that, let me know in the comments. Like one more little spot right there. Looks like I could use it. So the Doug Power Wagon, this thing has been a blast to just slightly modify. All the modifications I did were not necessary. It did just fine on its own, but if you're going to crawl on rocks and stuff like I do, I got a course downstairs. If you guys haven't seen my videos, go check those out. Let's tap this off real quick. So there it is. There is our rust. And the rest of the dingy stuff we'll just wipe right off once everything sits and dries. This stuff is completely hard. It's going nowhere, nor is that. And that's already dry enough I could reapply if I wanted to. This side turned out really good. Painted these as well. So it's the Dodge Power Wagon, and of course everybody knows it's not licensed, so they just put Doug. So I put Doug in the back window, and it's going to be called Doug. Doug the Power Wagon. So that's the DIY rust. Again, if you know how to make this, go back in my playlist from about 3 months ago. I made this, a Brillo pad and some white vinegar. That's it. I probably would have picked a bigger bottle to put this in because we put a whole Brillo pad in here. So it's steel wool, Brillo pad, whatever. By the time you put it in here and you dump the vinegar in, you get about this much vinegar in. And honestly, you need to fill the whole thing up. It's got to be, so it took a lot longer to break down and turned into rust. Leave the lid off. Rust is a living organism, believe it or not, for those of you who don't know. And the rust worms thrive in oxygen. So, little science lesson there for you. So leave the lid off. Don't put it next to your easy chair or your coffee table next to where you're sitting because it does smell. So put it laundry room someplace outside if it's not winter, unlike it is here. And just let her sit. You might want to top off the vinegar after about 3 days, and then just stir it occasionally. That's all you got to do. Really, really easy, low maintenance. And the only other thing you need are some paint brushes and my wife got like 30 of these at a yard sale for $1. So you can't beat that. Then of course have some acetone ready to clean up your brushes when you get done doing this, because you will ruin your brushes. These are just a cheap brush set I had left over from when I used to do custom Star Wars figures. Let's get Boba Fett. Big Star Wars nerd here. So yeah, if you got any questions, comment, please. Again, please subscribe, please like. We are a small channel, and I am partially disabled, and I have RC cars and nothing but time. So if you would like to request content, you got to ask questions or anything, I got to ask them. Again, like, comment, subscribe. Try not to beg here, but yeah, I think it's quality content. So even if you disagree, leave a comment. So hey, you guys have a great day, and yeah, we'll see you later. Get out there and play with those RCs.